Hi everyone, here's more Aviva and Ashira. Today we're going to learn a new letter. Today's new letter is Tzadee Sofit. Here's Tzadee Sofit. He is big and tall, and he is always the last letter in a word, just like all the other Sofit letters that we've learned. So the story about our friend Tzadee Sofit is that he is big and tall, and he is an eights. This is Tzadee Sofit, the eights. An eights is a tree. And this friend, Tzadee Sofit, is looking for a place to plant himself. So we are gonna go walk around our block and find a place for our Tzadee Sofit to plant. So let's go. So Tzadee Sofit was walking down the street and he was trying to find a spot to plant himself. The first place he went looking is next to eights number 1. Here's eights number 1, the first tree that we found. He went over to the eights and he's like, should I plant myself over here? Should he plant himself? No, this doesn't seem like a good spot. Let's keep looking. So he kept on walking down the street and he's trying to find another eights. The next eights he found is over here. Eights number 2, Stein.
It's too hard. It's too hard.
Should our Tzadee Sofit plant himself over here?
No.
No, it was too hard over here? Okay, it's too hard over here. So then Tzadee Sofit kept walking. He walked and walked until he got to the next eights. He went next to the eights. Should Tzadee Sofit plant himself over here? No.
It's too windy over here.
It's too windy. Okay, so he kept on walking. Here comes eights number 3. Whoa, this is a big one. Should Tzadee Sofit plant himself next to this eights? No, there's too big of a hole. So he kept on walking to eights number 4. Should Tzadee Sofit plant himself over here?
Yeah.
No, not this one. This one is too
big.
It's too big over here. So he kept on walking. Sofit had a great idea. He's like, I know. I'm going to plant myself in Eretz Yisrael. The word Eretz has a letter Tzadee Sofit in it.
Here I go.
Here I go. Let's go fly to Eretz Yisrael. Everyone go fly to Eretz Yisrael. And here he landed in Eretz Yisrael, and he found the most beautiful eights. Eights number 5. It was blooming so beautiful. And he decided to plant himself in Eretz Yisrael so he can bloom nice and big in the season of kites. Kites is summer, and it also ends in Tzadee Sofit. And he grew nice and tall, and he was the last tree planted, and he grew big and tall and super beautiful.
Hey, want me to take it back?
And that is the end of the story of Tzadee Sofit. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we're gonna practice writing the letter Tzadee Sofit. You're gonna need a marker, a pen or a pencil, a pair of scissors, and a piece of paper. Okay, so take the pencil in your hand and you are gonna write the letter Tzadee Sofit. First, you're gonna draw one big long line like this. Then you make another line like this. It looks like the letter Tzadee. The only difference is this line instead of curving like the letter Tzadee, it goes super straight and long. It kind of looks like a backwards Y. Practice writing the letter Tzadee Sofit 5 times. Afterwards, choose which letter Tzadee Sofit you like the best and cut it out. Like this. Take the letter with you and go on a walk, if your parents let you, on your block and find 5 eitzim around your block. Chamesh eitzim. You can count in Hebrew, and while you're looking for all the eitzim, say the letter. Say Tzadee Sofit, and say the sound. Tz. Hope you enjoy the nice weather and enjoy the nice view of all your beautiful eitzim on your block. Bye. Now I'm going to read to you a story called Caps for Sale. Listen for the Tzadee Sofit sound in this story. Caps for sale. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First he had his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top a bunch of red caps. Efor, chum, kahol, adom. He walked up and down the street, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap, adom. He began to feel very hungry and he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he. And he walked out of town slowly, slowly, as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big eitz. Tzadee Sofit eitz. That's a nice place to rest, thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the eitz and leaned back little by little against the eitz trunk so as not to disrupt the caps on his head. Then he put his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the eitz, no caps. Then he looked up into the eitz. And what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Efor, chum, kahol, and adom. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler, and he didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkey, you," he said, shaking his finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their finger back at him and said, the Tzadee Sofit sound, tss, tss, tss. This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, tss, tss, tss. Tzadee Sofit sound. Now he felt quite angry. He stomped his foot and said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said the Tzadee Sofit sound, tss, tss, tss. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stomped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stomped both their feet back at him and said the Tzadee Sofit sound. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And all the gray caps, F4, and all the brown caps, Chum, and all the blue caps, Kachol, and all the red caps, Adom, came flying down out of the eights. So, the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, F4, then the brown caps, Chum, then the blue caps, Kachol, then the red caps on the very top, Adom. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Bye.